I'm moving.
Take a stand.
Welcome, everyone, to Unity of Wilmington. Please stand and join us in our welcoming song.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life.
Thank you, Celebration Singers. Welcome to Unity of Wilmington. I am Lainey Mauger, and I am your platform host this fine day. Welcome to all of you. It's winter, in case you hadn't noticed, but we don't have snow. I was just thinking of the people in Buffalo. Whew. We are hot stuff in comparison. Anyway, I would like to welcome you to Unity of Wilmington. We are a metaphysical experience based on the Bible and Jesus' teachings. I'd like to welcome anybody who is here for the first time today. Can we acknowledge you? Good morning. Yay. Also like to welcome anybody who's here for the second or third time today. Even better, yes. And for all of us who have been here more than 3 times, yay. Keep on coming back. I invite you to join me in saying our major affirmation, which I believe is on the screen. There is one presence and one power, active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. And then our 3 affirmations, which guide us through our day when we remember them. I am the beloved expression of God. I am here for a holy purpose, and I am in the right place at the right time, right now. And now I'd like to introduce the people who are going to be on the press platform with me. We have Katie Deese, our music director. We have Krista Rivenbark, who will be just entertaining you with some wonderful music momentarily. Then we have Dr. Herbert Harris, who has been here before, our native Wilmingtonian speaker who joins us frequently, and we are very blessed. And having said that, Krista, it's all yours.
Took my love and I took it down. I climbed the mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror changing ocean tides. Can I handle the seasons of my life? I don't know. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older. I'm getting older too. So well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. So take this love, take it down. Oh, if you climb the mountain and you turn around, if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring it down. Well, if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, maybe the landslide will bring it down. Well, the landslide will bring it down.
Thank you, Krista. And now I would like to bring to the platform Dr. Harris. It's all yours.
Thank you, Lanny. Come on, move that.
Change places.
All right. Beautiful. Move this up a little bit. Ah. Woo-hoo. Don't want to fall off the stage. You know, that actually happened one time. Yeah. I think it happened. I think maybe they pushed me off the stage. I was singing, you know, I was cooking. I thought I was singing, and I thought people were enjoying it, and they were making faces, and I thought it were faces of joy. But maybe not. Wow. Wow, thank you. What a great Sunday. You all look great today. Give yourselves a hand. Wow. You know, when I looked out today, first it was cold. I did not expect that. You know, we live in the South. Isn't it supposed to be warm all the time? Yeah? But I guess that's a lesson. Everything has a season. And now, this year, we're in the season at Unity, a season for growth. So I want to welcome our guests, our members, those out there online. I was telling everybody, television land, or any that kind of part. Those online, thank you so much for being there. And when you're in Wilmington, come on down. And whatever you do, support this ministry, because good stuff is happening here at the church. I was looking at the email from the marketing team. Where's Trish? She sent me an email. Yes, she's out of town. Well, I hope you're watching, okay? But it was like magnificent. Our prayer group, Ms. Rodriguez, where are you? Where's our prayer team? Yes. Coming together, so it just tells you that stuff is happening here at Unity. You know, this is a vibration of love, really. And I'd like for this message today to, of course, be something that we do together. And, you know, I always ask for what we call call and response. And I say, even though it's cold, how do you feel today? Rich. All right. Y'all got it. Let's do rich. How do you feel today? Rich. That makes me feel better. When we, call and response gets us involved in what we're doing. And, of course, the affirmations. I like affirmations to tie down our message. And the affirmation for today is this. I am a loving manifestation of God. Let's say that together. I am a loving manifestation of God. Wow. Also, today is a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. Let's try that together. Today is a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. Woo! Now, with all of that, we're ready to roll. Our topic for today is making life changes. And the reason I picked that topic is, we're near the end of the year. And when you're at the end of the year, you start deciding whether you're going to get busy or get ready. There's some people that they get ready for the new year, but they never get busy doing anything about it. And so they end up right where they were now at the end of the year. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and as such, we have the ability to transform ourselves. I like to use the Bible as a book for spiritual principles. And so a lot of times I'll point out places in the Bible where our message sort of intersects, a foundation. And then, of course, this is your practical, this is your operational success handbook, the 12 Universal Laws of Success, which people say I wrote it. I didn't write it. I just received it. And if you want to write a book, okay. Well, you know what the secret to writing a book is to put in the time. You can't necessarily control how the message comes, but you can control being open and receptive to receive it. And so the secret to writing our book was every day from 9 to 1 in the morning, and from 2 to 6 in the afternoon, I made myself sit at the desk. And as we talk today, there are going to be some things that you're going to make yourself do to make this year end strong the way you want it to. I'd love to open with a quote, and Albert Einstein said something. He's pretty smart, said something profound. He said that the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Think about this now. The birds, they keep flying south in the winter. They don't change. They've been doing it for thousands of years. The salmon still swim upstream. The bears still hibernate. But man is that one creature, that godlike creature, that we can change stuff. We can choose to do something different. And that's really what this is all about. That we have the ability to change our lives this year so that we can make next year exactly the way we want it to be. So I have a question. Would you like for next year to be your year for outrageous success? I don't believe you. Let's try it again. Would you like for this year to be your year for outrageous success? Yes. Well, you're in the right place. The reason is this. Where we end this year is where we begin next year. And so it makes sense that we now get busy this year to finish strong. I mean, don't play around. I mean, get serious. If you would like to be, and you know, the term outrageous success means success beyond your wildest imagination. It's the kind of success when you're expecting a check for $10 and you get a check for $1,000. Now, does that excite you? Okay. Outrageous success is where whatever you do comes back to you almost exponentially. And people tell about it. You hear it, that there's a certain radiance that they give off when life has dealt them those kind of cards. But there are those who decide to wait until next year. And so our message today is really start flying now. Start preparing yourself for next year for the outrageous success you're going to have. If you want to be flying towards your goals, then get off the ground now. Can you imagine going to the airport? We have a beautiful airport. Planes in and out of there. And you go there, and you park, and you sit in your car in the parking lot waiting for January 1st. But that's how a lot of us do that. We don't, you know, it's not so obvious. We'll dress it up. We'll say, like, I'm getting ready to get ready. I'm getting organized. I'm going to put all my stuff, line up all my ducks. But really and truly, you're sitting in your car in the parking lot. We're talking about getting out of your car, going into the airport, deciding where you want to go, buying a ticket, going through security, getting on the plane, taxiing down the runway, and then taking off. So that when January 1st comes, you're already in flight. You're already moving. Is that the way you'd like to start next year? Yeah. All right, well then, this is what we have to do. A lot of times, people get to that point where they think that they've done so poorly to date that they want to wait. Like, you know, I missed the mark. I didn't accomplish my goals. I really messed up this year. I got to change. I'm going to wait until next year. But you know, one of the interesting things about sports is that 2-minute drill. I'm a football fan. And what I like to see is the 2-minute drill is where people get together at the end and they, I don't know what it is, they do something, they buckle down. There was a game, I think it was early this year, I think it was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. And in the last 2 minutes, they scored over 25 points. I remember watching the game, and I couldn't believe it. It's like, Mahomes, he scored a point, he scored a touchdown in like 50 seconds. Then the other guy kicks up, he runs back, scores a touchdown in 70 seconds. I mean, it was amazing. And so you have to say, well, what is it that people do at the end? And it's really about making a decision. You know, sometimes you win by refusing to lose. And that's how it is in sports. That 2-minute drill, if a team has a made-up mind, then you get the very best. I don't even like to watch the earlier parts of the football game. That last quarter, that's where I like, because that's where the best comes out in people. And so we're talking about what you can do over this next period of time to get the best out of yourself. Now, there's something interesting about where we are right now. Today is November 20th. In the Bible, there's a number that keeps popping up. The number 40. Moses went to the mountain of God and prayed and meditated for 40 days. Come down with the 10 Commandments. The great flood lasted 40 days. Elijah fasted for 40 days. And it's interesting when Jesus, after resurrection, if you really close, I don't know why it's so obscured in the Bible, but when you really put it all together, actually he operated on the earth for another 40 days, going around in different forms. So 40 is a key number. And guess what? Today, we have 40 days to the end of the year. I think there's something special about that. And I think that we can look at this and say, if we have 40 days to the end of the year, we have an opportunity to not just do it, but to create a harmonic. Sometimes when you're doing things, if you're doing things at the right time, you get a different bang for the buck. It's like when the group was singing. I like the new song, by the way. Doesn't everybody sound a little better doing it? I mean, I even found my key. Like, here it is. And Katie, thank goodness there are only 88 keys on that piano. I'll find one sooner or later. But, I mean, there's something about a harmonic. And when you look at a 40-day harmonic, this is where we're at, where we're at right now. We have the opportunity to use these next 40 days to create a whole new life for ourselves. I mean, to really make next year incredible. And this is going to be different because so many of us, first, we didn't recognize the last 40 days of the year. But now that we do, let's look at it. What can I do over the next 40 days to close out this year strong? That's the question. And there are 4 keys to closing out strong. Number 1, assess where you are. Number 2, to address what you find. Number 3, take responsibility for change. And number 4, keep going and growing. We can go home now. Assessing where you are. The GPS only works because you have 2 things, a destination and a location. If you don't know where you are, you can't move forward. And so the first thing, when you leave here today, and there's a spiritual principle. In the Habakkuk, in the Bible, the principle says, write the vision and make it plain. And so when you go and listen to this broadcast again, get out some paper and write some stuff down. Because it's something about the eye-hand coordination that does something. It's a motion, it's a connection. When you draw it, when you write it, even when you draw it, it's even better. You can see that visual image. And so look at where you are right now. Face the facts and be honest with yourself. Let me put it in. Let's be honest with ourselves. I don't want to feel like I'm telling you because it's all about us. We have to be honest with ourselves and face the facts. We are where we are because of our thoughts, our emotions, our habits, and praise God, our relationships. And so when we're honest with ourselves, we look at where we are and say, you know what? I did it, number 1. But how am I doing? When I looked at my goals for this year, how many people wrote goals down last year? Can you find them right now? And I think that's what happens. When I was preparing for the talk, I looked back in my notebook for 2018, and some of the same goals I wrote in 2018 were carried over in 2019, and by golly, a few of them were there for 2022. Now, I had accomplished some of them, but it was amazing. Like, wow, I've been working at this for a long time. We've been trying to do this thing. And so to look at how you're doing, and I love to, we talked about it, I think, before, the Ben Franklin method. And this gives you a way to objectively evaluate your performance. Ben Franklin said, he said, whenever you want to decide how you're doing, he said, to take a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle, and this is my Leonardo da Vinci, what he was saying. He says, draw a line down the middle, and on one side, put your victories. And the victories are all the stuff you did well, all of your accomplishments. And don't sell yourself short. You know, sometimes we look at small victories and we discount them. Small victories lead to great success. And so really be patient. Write down all the things you've accomplished. Maybe you had some weight goals. I achieved my weight goals. Maybe you had some professional goals. You know, I wanted to get a promotion. Maybe you had some relationship goals. I mean to get rid of this person, and now they're gone. Hallelujah. and we all have somebody like that. Okay? But write down all your victories. And then on the other side, write your lessons. And the lessons, someone would say, well, those are your failures. There's no such thing as failure. Everything is a lesson. So if you didn't accomplish your weight goals, that's a lesson. Do better. If you did not get out of that relationship, that's a lesson. Make a change. Maybe the lesson was bad thinking. You know, sometimes we think so negatively, we let negative thinking just keep us locked up. Maybe it's emotion. Sometimes you just feel insecure. You know, you don't think you can do it. But whatever it is, you make that list. And when you look at that list, write down all objectively how many victories and how many lessons. If you have more victories, then you've done well. If I evaluate myself, I had a few victories, but I think I had more lessons this year. I don't know if you all think, how many people had more lessons this year? Everybody. I'm with you. Right. This has kind of been a year where you learn a lot about yourself, about other people, about the world in general. How do you interact with the world? With so many things going on, it's been challenging to keep balance. So if you have more victories than lessons, then really just make some minor adjustments. You just want to do better, you want to do more, but you don't have to make any drastic changes. But if you have more lessons than victories, I call it time for a checkup. From the neck up in your thinking, and from the heart down in your feelings. You see, our thoughts and our feelings are always changing, and these are two things we have control over, our thoughts and our feelings. And so if we've had more lessons, we got to work on our thoughts and our feelings. What do we have to do to change that? Once you know where you are, then step 2, address the issues that you find. Now that's a lot harder than it sounds, because many times when we look at that our scorecard and we see all these lessons, there's a tendency to want to put it off, even blame somebody else. But the idea is, once you really assess where you are, then to address it, to start asking questions. I'm a retired attorney. And the way that you get truth in the court is by asking questions. And, you know, you have those tricky questions. You know, the old one, what the guy asked. I remember a case, fella bit the guy's ear off. And they were, in law it's called one question too many. And the guys understand, the witness, he says, isn't it a fact you didn't see my client bite the guy's ear off, did you? No, sir, didn't. You really didn't see my client even approach the guy, did you? No, it didn't. And he should have left it right there. But he said, well, what did you see? He said, I saw him spit it out. So questions can get you a truth. Okay? Well, that was a day to be in the courtroom. So questions can get you the truth. And some of the questions that you ask yourself, I picked out 5. And one question to ask yourself, number 1, can I do better? What can I do better? I changed my thinking. What can I do better? Control my emotions. What can I do better? Make a list of the things you can do better. Number 2, this is a biggie. What will I not do again? Whew. That's one that will really make you think about it. But that's one of those questions that will help you get better off. What will I not do again? I definitely won't let this person into my life again. I definitely won't go to spend any time with them again. I definitely won't go to work drunk again. In other words, if you start making a list of the things you will not do again, that's a very powerful piece, because a lot of times we're clearer about what we don't want than what we do want. Next question. What must I do to improve? So maybe you need to think better thoughts, think more positive thoughts. Maybe at this point in the year, the things that you set out to do didn't get done because you were thinking all the reasons it couldn't be done. Maybe you let negative thinking just come in and lock you down so you couldn't get stuff done. Next question. What happens if I improve? Now, when you think about it, what happens if you think good thoughts? Man. What happens if you feel really good about yourself and just radiate that goodness? What happens if you get rid of some bad habits and you start getting up early, being prepared, being organized, smiling at people? What happens if you cut off some people who need to be cut off? You know, sometimes it's hard to cut off your family, but you may have to limit their access. You know, like, call me on Thanksgiving. Every holiday I want to hear from you. But if you can visualize your life the way it would be if you made all these changes, man, that can give you some motivation. Then the flip side of that, the 5th question is this. What happens if you don't improve? What happens if you keep going along with whatever you've been doing? That'll give you some thought. If you want to continue getting what you've always gotten, you keep doing what you've always done. Albert Einstein said insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. And then finally, sometimes you just have to get help. I mean, really and truly, very often we get to a point where if we keep going around in circles, maybe we need to get help. And that's one of the beautiful things about the church here, Lanny, that, when people come in, everybody sort of feels good. That whatever was going on outside seemed like when you walk in the door, this place is like an oasis. It can give you help and lift you up. So address those issues. Step 3, take responsibility for the change. Whatever it is, who did it? I did it. Okay. She said, I did it. I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. That's okay. But we have to fess up to ourselves. But now look at the other side of this. Whatever it becomes, I create it. Whatever it becomes, what? Let's say it like we mean it. Whatever it becomes, I created it. And that's the power. We create whatever we want it to be. Get away from blame. If you blame somebody else, you can't fix it. Get away from shame. Some people just are so concerned about what other people think about them that they get paralyzed. Stop avoiding stuff. Avoidance will keep you locked into whatever it is you're at right now. And then finally, don't procrastinate. The only time to fix it is right now. So let us set 40-day goals. See, now that's the beautiful thing about the goal setting. You know, like everybody set a 1-year goal, a 2-year goal, and that's kind of long range, 5-year goal. They're necessary. Sandra always sets 5-year goals. She can tell you right now what I'm not doing to get my 5-year goal. And I thank you, honey. I say for that additional and further insight. But let's look at where we are right. 40 days. You know you can do anything for 40 days. And so set some new goals, but set 40-day goals, personal goals. What do you want to accomplish over the next 40 days in your personal life? Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to learn something. Maybe you want to get out and meet some new people. Family goals. Maybe you want to interact differently with your family. You know, it's interesting. These 40 days encompass 2 of the biggest holidays of the year, really. Christmas and Thanksgiving. Also 2 of the biggest spending days. So you should have some financial goals, some 40-day goals for your finances. Excuse me. There's a reason that they try to sell you Black Friday. And it's interesting, Black Friday ends up being a whole month. You know, if you miss it on Friday, like, come back Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter. But the thought is now to set some 40-day goals in these areas. With this finance right now, with the holidays, everybody's saying, hold on to your cash. Don't spend stuff you don't have. You can't count on having a job anymore. Take control of your thoughts. Take control of your emotions. Take control of your habits. There's a great affirmation, and it says, I have control of my mind, my body, my instincts, and my emotions. I'll say it, and you repeat after me. I have control of my mind, my body, my instincts, and my emotions. Give yourselves a hand. That was a good job. And then to have a certain attitude. That if it's to be, it's up to me attitude. Oprah Winfrey said, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude. Wow. If it's to be, it's up to me. Let's say that together. If it's to be, it's up to me. And then finally, number 4, keep going and growing. To realize that success is an evolutionary process. You don't become an overnight success. You know, someone once said, you're an overnight success that took 20 years to happen. Okay? It's a gradual process. And once you recognize that success is an evolutionary process, you don't be so hard on yourself when stuff doesn't happen. Be constant in your efforts. To look at every day, get a little bit better. When we look at these 40 days, to really write out your daily plan, what you want to accomplish each day. Don't stop for rest and reward. You know, that's one big problem with a lot of young people. They accomplish one thing and they're like, I'm going to give myself a day off. Don't stop. Once you get into a success pattern, there's a whole power in keeping it up, creating the rhythm for success. Have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Have faith in yourself and in your ability to get things done. Knowing that if you seek, you'll find. If you knock, it will be opened. And if you ask, you will receive. Develop a daily method of operation. Now, this is the heart of it all, folks. The daily method of operation. I guarantee you, if each of you tonight and every night make a list of what you want to accomplish the next day. Make the list of activities. Not only the activities, but what time, schedule, when they must be performed, how long they'll take. At the end of the day, to monitor your progress, to see how well you did. And then commit to get better and better. Read your goals. You know, I didn't used to believe that. You know, every book tells you, read your goals 3 times a day, do it. It creates a vibration for success. And then finally, live in day-tight compartments. And by that I mean, don't be discouraged when stuff doesn't work today. That there's always tomorrow. And all you have to do is get better, be better, and do more. So let's conclude and let's wrap it up. Today, we have how many days? 40 days. And over these 40 days, we will assess where we are right away. We will address what must be changed. We will take responsibility for doing it. And we will keep going and growing. So when you can do these things, you can be what you want to be, you can do what you want to do, and you can have anything you desire. So let's stand up for our treatment and wrap it up. Woo! I know I went a few minutes over, but you know, we got 40 days. I didn't want you to didn't want you to start off like, you got to get this. All right. I'll say it and then you can repeat after me. I assess my condition.
I assess my condition.
I address what must be changed.
I address what must be changed.
I take responsibility for the change.
I take responsibility for the change.
And I keep going
And I keep going
and growing.
and growing.
Going
Growing
and growing.
and growing.
Give yourselves a hand. Thank you. Woo! You may be seated. Woo! I like that. Thank you, Katie. I'm about ready to sing. You say, I hear you. I wouldn't want to hear it either. I'm really falling apart here. Let's see. I got to put let's just put it in my pocket. Would that work? Okay, I just look funny with the thing in my pocket. All right. Let us just sit right up in our seats. Close our outer eyes. And open our inner eyes. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, we affirm, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. And just let that peace sink in. And feel the coolness, the peacefulness of a fall day. And see the leaves falling from the trees. And as they fall upon the ground, feel the peacefulness that they create. Visualize the golden colors of the fall forest. Multiplicity of colors. butterfly. And feel the wind upon your face as the leaves rustle upon the ground. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this moment of peace and relaxation, feel this powerful spirit of wholeness and joy. Just feel and consume your body. Feel this peacefulness and joy just consume your mind. Feel this peacefulness and joy consume your spirit. And as this peace touches each and every portion of our body, there's a coolness that moves from the top of our heads, a coolness that moves into our eyes, into our mouth, a coolness of peace and relaxation that moves through our neck, into our lungs as we breathe, a healing coolness, a wholesome coolness. This coolness moves down to our abdomen, down to our hips, to our thighs, our knee, our legs, and into our feet. And in this state of coolness and relaxation, we are at peace with ourselves. I am whole. I am healed. Let us affirm that together. I am whole. I am healed. And so it is. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And give yourselves a hand.
Now you can. Okay. Thank you. Now it is. Oh, yeah. Wow. Making changes. Scary, but a beautiful thought, because that's all we've ever done from the first breath we've taken, is change. And we're turning out okay, so we might as well keep on doing it. I would like to thank you for encouraging us on this wonderful path that we are on. And if anything has resonated with you this day, I would like you to support us physically, spiritually, emotionally, and in person. So right now is our request for offerings. Please join me in our mudra. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. So it is. The screen shows you how you may contribute financially to join us. So it is. Krista, you're on.
In the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All my life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Thank you very much. As we're coming to the end of today's service, it's always time for announcements. Thank you, Krista. For those of you who are here and those of you who are out there, this is membership renewal time. If you haven't already done so, please call Wendy, send in your card to renew your membership status for the following year. It seems like a tedious thing to have to do every year, but we do count on it for such things as establishing quorums when we have annual meetings so that you may pass the rules that guide you through the year and that guide us through the year. So please, it's an important thing to declare that you are a member. The other thing is that we are vested in prayer. We're established in prayer, and we have prayer chaplains. Today our prayer chaplain is Sharon Hertner, whose hand is raising in the air. And it's also the week of Thanksgiving. One of the traditional activities of Unity is we have gratitude night the evening before Thanksgiving, Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. It's a time for some quiet reflection. It's a time for sharing. It's a time for being grateful and appreciative and focusing on the joy of all that is. So having said that, see you Wednesday evening. Those, bring your families and prepare for Thursday's feast. People have been asking, how do I become a member of Unity? Well, several times a year we have a new member class. The next one is a week Saturday, December 3rd. If you have not already signed up and wish to become a member, the seat is in the fellowship hall, and you need to be a member to vote at the annual meeting, so please consider that as a possibility. That Saturday morning, it'll be from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Come and find out what the Fillmore has decided is important and how we carry on. And probably the most important piece is the one that resonated most with me. It's that it's Unity School of Christianity. And you go to school to change. So welcome aboard. The other thing is that on the 12th and 13th, Reverend Eliza Robinson will be joining us for a weekend. And she will have the conclusion of all the work that you have been doing, thinking about our why, our what, and our how. So we're putting that all together, and we're asking you to join us on Saturday for a workshop, and there's a sign-up sheet for that. And then Sunday, she will be doing the service. And also on Sunday, we will be inducting the new members who have been to class the week before as members of Unity. So now, I invite you to join me for our prayer for protection and our closing song. So please stand. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Happy 40 days. Go forth in wisdom and joy. Have a good time and eat well.
Yes.